Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about the social network analysis. Let us start with the introduction. See, social networks means the networks which is used for making a new friends and through the social sites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, many. What is the social network analysis? Social network analysis is the art and science of discovering patterns of interaction and influence within the participants in a networks. The social networks are a geographically representation of relationship among the people and entities. Here the participants may be, it may be people, organization, machine, concept or any other kinds of the entity. An ideal application of social network analysis will discover essential characteristics of a network including its central nodes and its subnetwork structure. The subnetwork means cluster of the nodes where within the subnetwork the connection will be stronger than outside the subnetwork. See, this SNA is accomplished through a graphically representing social relationship into a network of nodes and links and applying iterative computational techniques to measure the strengths of relationships. The social network analysis ultimately helps relate the totality of the network to the unified field, which is the ultimate entity with infinite relationship among everything. This is about the social network analysis. Next, we'll move for the applications of the social network analysis. Many are there. Few we are going to discuss here. First one is a self-awareness. Self-awareness means a person is going to organize their relationship and support the network. We can visualize these things here using the social networks analysis. Next, communities. A social network analysis can help to identify, construct and strengthen the strengthening of networks within the communities to build a wellness, comfort, resilience. Analysis of a joint authorizing relationships and citations that is going to help to identify the subnetworks of specialization of knowledge in an academic field. Take an example. See, if we want to get to know the information of particular topic, they are going to make one community. If you join that community, you will automatically get to know what all the things are there in that one. Take an example here, COVID-19 community they are going to make. See, wherever in any countries, if any COVID patient in number increases, any deaths, anything, then they are going to updating on that community so that everyone can get to know that one easily. Marketing. Next, there is a popular network inside that any two people are related to each other through at most 7 degrees of links. Organizations can use this insight to reach out with their messages to large number of people and also to listen actively to opinion leaders as a ways to understand their customer needs and behavior. See, marketing strategies means what? The persons which are having the maximum contacts, they are going to check out those people, they are going to post their advertisements on that page, that person pages, so that that person is having many friends, everyone can see that one. That strategy they are going to use for this marketing. Next is a public health. See, awareness of a networks can help to identify the paths that certain diseases take to spread. See, before this COVID-19, every whenever it has started, when it has started through the social media, they are giving the awareness about this one. See, this is the problem. So everyone be aware of that one, and you have to make the social distancing. public health professionals can isolate and contain the diseases before they expand to the other networks. That we can do through this SNA. Next is a network topologies. There are two primary network topologies are there. One is a ring topology, another one is a hub spoke topology. First one will discuss a ring topology. Nodes typically connect to their adjacent nodes in the network. Potentially all the nodes can connect to each other here. One node is connected to another, one node is connected to another. Like this they are going to be connected to each other. The ring network could be a dense where every node has a direct connection with practically every node. Or it could be space where every node connects to a small subnet of a networks. The number of connections needed to reach from one node to another could vary tremendously. A dense network with a more connection will allow many direct connections between pair of nodes. In a space network, one may need to traverse many connections to reach the desired destinations. A peer-to-peer email network is an example on a ring model. Here, A is the one source and F is one destination. To reach the F, it has to traverse all the networks to reach the destination. This is the thing in the ring network. Next is a hub spoke topology. See here what will happen, one central node will be there, central hub will be there, all the nodes are going to be connected to this node here. The node connect with each other through a hub node. This hierarchical network structure, this hub node is a central to complete network. Hub node is structurally more important as it is central to all the communications between their peripheral nodes. Good thing about this hub spoke network is that one could predictably reach from one node to another node through this single traverse. Exactly the two connections are required. One is from A to N and N to B. Only exactly two this connections are required, but here in the ring topology it has to traverse here. One link, two link, three links. Three links are necessary to reach F if they are choosing this direction. If this direction is chosen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are necessary to reach the F. But in this hub spoke, only two connections are necessary. Through that one, it is going to be reaching to the next destination here. If the destination may be this one, anyone, but it is going to reach to with only two connections. See, the density of the network can be defined as an average number of connections per node. The cohesiveness of the network is a related concept, which is the average number of connections needed to reach from one node to another node. See, another way of analyzing the network, how we have to analyze this network is to define the centrality of every node. The number of links associated with a node is a sign of centrality of the node. In the ring network, in the ring network, each node has the exact two links. One is this link, then this link. Two links are there. So what will happen? There is no central node is there here. The hub spoke network, here one central node is there, but only this node is going to have the 8 links. All others are going to have exactly one link is there. Thus the node N has a high centrality. Only this node is going to have the high centrality here. See, a variant that combines both of the above types is network of networks, in which each participating network will connect with the other networks at selected point of contact. See, take an example of an internet is a network of networks. See, one page, one web page is going to be connected to the all other pages. See, any results comes, then all the many web pages are going to be telling that the results are announced, and they will give the link to that particular web page. Getting? That is the thing. Next, we'll move to the techniques and algorithms. Here, there are two major levels of the social network analysis. Is there discovering of the subnetworks within the network and ranking the nodes to find a more important node or a hub. First, we have to start with the finding the subnetworks. Here, this is a large network could be there. How to analyze this one better, how to manage this one better, and how to distinct the subnetworks, that and how we have to do that one. That is going to be done with a distinct identity and the unique characteristics of the particular nodes. See, doing a cluster analysis of the nodes is important here. Through that one, we are going to be separating the things. The node with the strong ties between them would belong to the same subnetwork. These all nodes are going to have a strong ties between each other. So this is going to form one subnetwork. Here it is going to have the strong connections. So this is one subnetwork. Here this is one subnetwork. Like this they are going to form a subnetwork. This is an unsupervised learning technique. As in a priori, there is no correct number of subnetworks in a network. We cannot predict directly. See, from these all the nodes we can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subnetwork. We cannot define that one here because it is an unsupervised learning here. The usefulness of this subnetwork structure for decision making is the main criterion for adopting a particular structure. We have to see this one visually and we have to decide that one which is having the correlation with each other, then we are going to form that one in one subnetwork. See, you can use the color codes that may help to differentiate the types of the node, representing the strong ties and the thicker lines, bold lines. By doing those things, we can separate the things here. See, if the person is similar to this person, then we have to use the same color for these two nodes. If this person also thinking same, then he is also doing the same work, we can use the same color. Like this, making the same colors, then we can identify the subnetwork very easily. This is about the finding the subnetwork. Next is computing the importance of the nodes. This is very important here. See, when the connection between the two nodes in the network have a direction to them, then the node can be compared for their relative influence or a rank. This is done using influence flow model. Every outbound link from a node can be considered an outflow of influence. See, every incoming link is similar an inflow of an influence. If his node is there, if it is having the outgoing link and incoming link, both will be having the influences on this node. Incoming link is also having the influence on this node. Outgoing links are also going to have the influences of the nodes. More in links to a node means a greater importance is there. Thus, there will be many direct and indirect flows of influences between any two nodes in the network. See, computing the relative influences of each node is done on the basis of an input-output matrix of flows of influences among the nodes. See, assume each node have an influence value. The computational task is to identify a set of rank values that satisfy the set of links between the nodes. It is an iterative task. where we begin with some initial values and continue to iterate until the rank values stabilizes. See how exactly this will work, we see with one example. Consider one simple network which is going to have the 4 nodes A, B, C, D, and it is going to have the 6 directed links between them. See here, A is going to have one outgoing link to B, and B is going to have one incoming link to A. B is going to have another one link to C. A is going to have a link to C. See, node A links to the node B. Node B links to the node C. Node C links to the node D. Node D links to the node A. Node A links to the C. B links to the this one. See, goal is to find the relative importance or a rank or every node in the network, which will helps to identify the most important node in the network. Our aim is to find the more important node. Which is the more important node? How we are going to find? Based on the influences of that node. See, this one will start by beginning with some variables for influences or a value for each node. We have to take that one. We are going to start that one here. For this node, we are going to assume some variables. The variable is RA, RB, RC and RD. See, goal is to find a relative values for these variables. See, we are going to take this one, assign the variable of influence or a rank value for each node as a RA, RB, RC, RD. These values we are considered, and there are two outbound links from a node A to node B and node C. See here. Here there are two outbound links from this node A. Two outbound links. This is one outbound link here, and this is one outbound link. Two outbound links are there from the A to B and the C. Thus both B and C are receiving half of the information from the A, half of the influence of the A. See, this is going to have a half, that is half means what? 1 by 2. That is here, this is also a 1 by 2. 1 by 2 influences of a A, the C is going to get, B is going to get one half of the influence of the A. Similarly, there are two outbound links from the B here. B is also going to have the two outbound links. This is the one. Here it is going to share a half because two links are there. Here B is going to have another one link. This is also going to share the 2. Next for the C. C is going to have only one link. So a complete share of the C is going to be sending to the D. And next D is also going to have the same thing. So it is going to have only one. Like this we have to analyze the influences. Next we have to start computing that one. See, node A gets the all the influences of a node D and half the influences of the node B. Based on, see, we are going to do this analysis based on the incoming influences, not the outgoing influences. We have to start with the incoming. How many incoming lines are there for this A? One is from the D and the half is from the B. Half means 0.5. 0.5 RB plus RD. 0.5 RB plus RD. Similarly, next for the B, half of the A means 0.5 RA. Next, any other links are there to A? No. So 0.5 RA. Only the 0.5 the share is there for the RB. Next for the RC. For this RC, two incomings are there. So 0.5 RA, 0.5 RB. 0.5 RA and plus 0.5 RB. Next is a RD. Only one is there. So that is a RC. Directly it is a RC only. Only one is there. So we have to take it completely. See, these we have got 4 equations using these 4 variables. These can be solved using the some mathematical things. See, we are going to represent these coefficients of the four equation in a matrix form. That we are going to show here. See, we are going to show this one in the matrix form here. See, this equation, first one we will consider 0.5 RB and the RD. 0.5 for this RB and the 1 is for the RD. This RA contribution will be there for the RB 0.5, RD 1. Rest others will be a 0. We are going to using the 0 to indicate the nothing is there here. Nothing is going to be involving here. Next, for the RB. For the RB, only 0.5 RA is there. 0.5 RA. Rest others will be a 0. For the RC, it is a RA and RB. That is 0.5. 0.5 RA, RB. For the RD, it is only RC. So, RC it is 1. Rest others it is 0. Got to know how exactly to find the influence matrix from this 4 equations. Next, what we are going to do is, by seeing this one, we are going to think that we are going to assume that the value, whatever the value we are going to get, that is maximum, it can add up to 1. The rank values can be added up to 1. So each node has a fraction as the rank value. Let us start with an initial set of the rank values and then iteratively compute a new rank value till they stabilizes. See, one can start. How we are going to start? We can start with any initial rank value that may be 1 by n. We can start from the 1 by n, or also we can take a 1 by 4. Anything we can take from this value. We have to start analyzing the things. Still that table, the matrix is going to stabilize the values. Now we will start the initial values. We are going to take a 1 by 4. So it is a 1 by 4 is 0.25 here. 0.25 initial value for all the variables. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to put these values into these equations. Here in these equations, we are going to put the values. And we are going to find the next iteration values. First iteration value, here 0.5 is there. 0.5, how we have to solve is a 0.5 into 0.25 plus 0.5. Next, it will be 0.3. We have to multiply these two things. See, we have to fill the new values here. We have to fill new values and we'll get the correct answers. Here, this is the new value we have to use. And you have to multiply these two, you will get this answer. Then you add this one and this one, you will get this is the answer. Yeah. Similar way we have to compute for the next iterations. 0.375. Similar way we have to compute for the next one. Next one, 0.5 into RA. RA is a 0.25. 0.25 into 0.5. It is a 0.125. The answer is 0.215. Here, this is the RC is a 0.5 into this 125 and 0.5 into 0.25. Then you will get the correct. Similar way we have to compute for the next one. Here 0.5 this one and this are equal to completely the same, so it is a 0.25. This is also 0.25. This is also 0.25. This is the first iteration. Next we have to go for the next iteration. In the next iteration, this value we have to fill in the equation. You have to do and you will get this answer. Check out this one, and you have to do this one till the values are stabilized. Till the values are stabilized, we have to same use the same formula and you have to fill the next iteration values and you will get the stabilized value. The final rank, whatever the final rank is there, that is going to show that the rank of the node A is the highest at a 0.35. See here, this is the having the highest value. So thus the most important node is a node A. The node A is the most important node. Most least one is the node B, because it is going to have the less value compared to all other. These are a middle one. They are not a high or they are not the low. See, this is the thing, how to identify the importance node. The relative score of the nodes in this network would have been the same irrespective of the initial values chosen for the computations. It may take a longer or a shorter number of iterations for the results to stabilize there for different set of the initial values. Got to know this one? Next, we'll move for the page ranking. It is used to compute the relative importance of the websites in the overall World Wide Web. www. The data on the websites and their links is gathered through the web scroller bots that traverse through the web pages at frequent intervals. Every web page is a node in a social network, and all the hyperlinks from that page becomes directed link to other web pages. Every outbound link from a web page is considered an outflow of a influence of that web pages. Previously we have calculated that outbound, outflow influence, inflow influence, that one. An iterative computational technique is applied to compute a relative importance of to each page. That score is also called as a page rank. According to an eponymous algorithm invented by a founder of a Google, the web search company. According to this one, the how to find the web page ranking is this one. See this is the developer, that page ranking is developed by the Google. Got to know how exactly it works? The similar way we have previously we have calculated the influence or a rank, that way only here this page rank algorithm also going to work. Next we are going to go for the practical considerations. Network size, gathering data, computation and visualization, dynamic networks. First we will discuss with the network size. The network size is a small, then it is going to work well. If the network is large, then it is very challenging one. See, the number of links is the order of the square of the number of nodes. Thus, in a network of 1000 nodes, there are potentially 1 million possible pair of links is there. That is not in practical. That is in practical, but working is very difficult for the network size. See, gathering data. Gathering data is also very difficult. See, electronic communication records can be harnessed to gather the social network data more easily. The data on the nature and quality of relationship need to be collected using a survivor document. So survey document, in that one we are going to collect the data. Capturing and cleaning and organizing the data can take a lot of time and effort. It is similarly a data analytic project only. That is also very difficult to gather the correct data. A computation and visualization. See, modeling large network can be computationally challenging, and visualizing them also would require a special skills. Big data analytic tools may be needed to compute a large network. Next is a dynamic networks. A relationship between the node in a social network can be fluid. They can change in strength and functional nature. That is a very difficult. These are some practical difficulties while working with a social network analysis. Next, comparison of a social network analysis versus a traditional data analytics. First one, in the dimensions, first one, nature of learning. The social network analysis is a unsupervised learning. Here, this traditional data mining is a supervised as well as both unsupervised learning. Analysis of a goals. This is a hub nodes, important nodes, and the subnetworks are going to be considered. Here, key decision rules and the cluster centroid are going to be considered for the analysis. Data structure. A graph of a nodes and the link will be there. That is going to be a structure here. A rectangular data of variables and the instances. Analysis technique, using the visualization with the statistics, iterative graphical computation. Here machine learning and the statistics are going to be applied on the data. The quality measurements. Usefulness is a key criteria. Here predictive accuracy for classification technique is there. Only we are going to use the predictive accuracy. Based on that one we are going to do the classification. That is some differences between the social network analysis as well as the traditional data mining. This completes the social network analysis. If you are having any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.